DAT just changed rules, no authority, no loads anymore. That's it, period. If you don't have MC, you can't access load board anymore. Maybe in a couple of days, it will gone forever. No MC, no loads, no DOT. Now, a little bit of a context here. Why this happening? Well, because there are a lot of bad actors, let's call them that way, and they're using the DAT for a wrong way. There are a lot of phishings, a lot of scams going on, a lot of fraud, and obviously DAT taking precautions. Yes, if you've been using DAT, no authority, and you were fine, right? You booking loads and whatnot. Maybe you were good, didn't do any fraud, anything, didn't scam any people. But hey, this fraud thing, it's increasing rapidly. There are a lot of bad actors using these load boards in a bad way, a lot of carriers struggling, a lot of brokers struggling. We need to look like we need to be optimistic and we need to understand why DAT does this. And there are a lot of people using with no MC, right? Means no authority. Thousands of people using it. And I remember back in 2021, when we started promoting DAT, thousands of people signed up using affiliates, links, 30-day free trial, whatnot. And then they, started using, obviously, in the wrong way, scamming people and fraud, all that bad stuff. So then what happened? DAT reached out to the affiliates. I'm one of their affiliates. And they said, listen, no more promotion. We are changing, basically restructuring the affiliate program. Now, we kind of obviously, pissed off, like why we were making money, we're promoting DAT, at the same time, we're using DAT, we love DAT. And then we realized that, hey, wow, there are a lot of, scams going on. So now this obviously percentage of fraud, let's say, rapidly increasing and increased drastically over the couple of years. And now DAT said, no, we track them down. If they're using VPN, if they have no authority, that's it, right? They will lose the access. That's it, gone forever. So if you wanted to access the DAT, you still, have ways or options, obviously. One is alternative to DAT. And second, well, you can access DAT if you have MC. That means if you wanted to use DAT, then you must have a, authority. That means MC. And second, if you're like, man, I'm outside the US. Well, by the way, if you're outside the US, it's even, getting worse. That means I remember I called about like 6 months ago, and a lot of my students, overseas, they reach out to me and said, man, we can't access load board. What's happening? DAT just basically limiting access. Some of our students lost access. And well, I reached out to DAT and I said, listen, we do have students that are using, load boards. This is how we teach. We show them the load boards in and out. And at the same time, they will be using the load boards and they will become the, paid customers. And they said only US-based customers can access DAT. So what that means, basically, you must be a US citizen. That means, yes, I thought, well, wait a minute, US citizen, that means I have to prove my US citizenship. Is that what you're saying? And customer support said, yes, they must be in the US. You must have LLC to access DAT, and you must bring a carrier. Means if you have a carrier and if you're a US resident, then you can use DAT. Kind of tough for those of you who really love DAT, wanted to access DAT. Because of those scammers, a lot of good people obviously losing their businesses. People who are actually using load board to book loads for their carriers, meaning independent freight dispatchers, call them truck dispatchers, freight dispatchers, everybody affected by this. Now, what will happen next if you have no authority, means no MC, no DOT, that's it. It's end. Eventually, maybe a couple days, maybe a couple weeks, it'll gone. If you don't have MC, if you can't update your information, meaning company information, that means it's gone forever. Now, as I said, there will be option. You becoming a carrier, you have MC, then you can access, or you can bring a carrier, but then you have to be in the US, you must have your LLC, and you must have your physical address to get access to a load board. Now, if you don't have those, but you still have the option, but you can access DAT, but the alternative. An alternative to that load board is 123 load board. And 123 load board is dispatcher friendly. If you have no DOT, no authority, basically, you can use 123 load board. Guys, I'm sorry, this thing obviously frustrating. In trucking, as I always say, anything at any given moment, something can happen. So we just need to take this and basically restructure our businesses. If we can access the DAT, there are a lot of other alternatives. We can definitely use that. But other than that, keep rolling, keep pushing, and I'll see you in the next video.